I'll come back. 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 I'll come back.
Because that's what happens when we do that.
Yep. Oh, I'm getting sound too. I need to mute that.
Did you know that there's a little area in the dashboard of Twitch that actually lets you like put an ad break here? 30 like
That's gross. I don't like that.
Me either.
Fuck that.
Yep. Fuck that. Fuck that. 10-foot pole. And now it's time. 5, 4, 3, 2. No, my questions. Why are they gone?
Because you touch yourself at night.
That's fine. I'll remember them. Hello and welcome to the Barcast. The bar gets lower every single week. Your bartenders for this evening will be a non-pencil. Enigmatic Otaku.
Oh boy, 4 p.m. Time for your dick flattening, honey.
Milk.
Okay, dear.
And my name's Flutter Priest. This week, oh my gosh, we have a very, very fun and special guest. You may recognize him as he's been on before. But we're collaborating in an awesome way that warranted a strong return. Jake the Army Guy.
My terror is immeasurable at this point.
Yay!
Good.
He learned from last time.
So is the size of my dick.
Hey, let's be real here. Come on.
Speaking of measuring, not measuring, if you haven't tuned in before, hello and welcome. We're a community-oriented podcast where you politely request guests. We usually say no, but then invite them on and you ask them questions for 2 hours and we make them miserable. If you miss out on past versions, like interviewing people from the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic show, be sure to check us out on places like YouTube, iTunes, Google Play Music, and other places where you digest your podcast material. We are streaming live on Twitch right now, which is how we always show off our casts. That way we can interact with you lovely folk. And the lovely Anon Pencil is going to be watching the chat. Pencil, what are questions we don't ask our guests?
We don't ask the guest questions about religion, politics, or anything too personal about where they work, where they live, etc. Or what their real name is, basically prying stalker-like questions. We're not here to help you with that. Stop it. Get some help. However, our guest is pretty comfortable with rated R material, so he should be able to handle most things you throw at him. And other guy, I saw you got there first this time, and I'm proud of you. We also will be doing something with you, and that's a drinking game. So we have a drinking word. Priest, what's the drinking word this week, and what should we be careful of?
The drinking word is the, or the.
So we taking 3 shots there or 4?
Just
No.
My goal is to kill you all. Just saying.
just cry.
This is what we're doing, so please drink responsibly, take baby sips, like really just kind of breathe the fumes.
Okay.
Because
I have to ask a question because, again, it's been a while since I've been on. But is that actually like a real thing y'all do when we say word, insert
Yep.
word, people?
Yep.
Oh God, I should have thought of that a little.
we are doing that.
We do
so
that. We have built a tolerance thanks to this cast.
I am
It's
so
gotten way
sorry.
better.
Blast
And
up
that's
that
how
beers here,
we always conclude with, please drink responsibly. We don't want to send someone to the hospital again. And that's
Yes.
genuine. We've accidentally hurt people at this show. Please drink responsibly. Seriously.
Have water when you're watching as well. Remember, best way to not have a hangover is 1 shot of water for every shot of alcohol. Anyway.
So,
I feel horrible now.
Too bad. It's time. You're here.
I've doomed you all.
But that is the proper.
without further ado, we'll get you to the questions. So, Jake, the Army Guy, who are you and what have you done for the fandom?
Dear God.
Should we just like do this whole cast where we try to avoid that word?
Just set up
Damn
a
it.
whiskey. Just set up a whiskey IV at this point, okay? All right.
Just-
To
yeah, just
answer
fuck it up,
to answer said question. Notice I didn't say the word. Damn it! I just did.
Cam. That's what we doing.
What am I like? My name is Jake the Army Guy. I am a former fan fiction writer because I haven't really written anything in a long time. But I generally just kind of troll around, be awesome, like to talk to people. I read stories and try to help people where I can. Help them. Because I've to provide them with a little help with what little I know, and generally just sort of be an all-around cool, groovy guy.
Yeah.
And I also occasionally read once every 3 fucking years or so, hold a writing contest, which is, I guess we can get into that later, but yeah, so my claim to fame is I've written some stories that people apparently like, and now I'm just sort of well known for obscure reasons.
Fair enough. So what brought you into the fandom?
It's actually kind of funny because around 2000, let's see, it was about right before season 2 started, so probably 2010 or 11. I was in Korea, and as I was doing what I did most days at work, trolling the internet and reading webcomics and not doing my actual job, I started to see memes about, like on Cheeseburger and stuff about this show, and all the memes were about how, hey, this is actually kind of good, and at one point I started to realize that I was looking for these memes, so I figured, you know what, fuck it, let's give it a shot. So that night I went home, got on YouTube, and I looked at the first episode that came up in a search was Swarm of the Century. And I watched it, and 1 became 2, 2 became 3, 3 became holy shit, I have PT in half an hour, what the hell happened? And so yeah, I just kind of snowballed into it, and then just dove headfirst into the madness of the fandom after that.
Fair enough. So what do you consider to be your favorite part of the fandom? Online community, fanfics, cons, music? What ends up actually keeping you here?
It's the people, really. I mean, what initially got me into the fandom aspect was fan fiction, because I had never read fan fiction before. I thought it was all crap, and I was kind of right. But anyway, I started reading it, and I started when I tried out my own handed writing, I started talking to people like the old Pony-chan boards, and I've met it's really cheesy and cliche, but I've honestly met some of the best friends I've ever had through this fandom. Like just a lot of like-minded people who just kind of get me and I get them, and we're just very comfortable with each other. So it's the people. As far as like fan works, it's still mainly fan fiction. Like I love it when a story can really make you feel something, be that in your head, in your heart, in your bedroom bits, we'll say. Yeah, but yeah, just the general creativity and talent of the people in the fandom, especially when you look at like the stark difference in because okay, not everything on fanfiction is a gem, but the stark contrast of things like fanfiction level stories with like fanfiction.net or even Archive of Our Own, it's like I don't know what we do, but we do something to where we actually tend to get talented people writing.
I would concur with that. Like there's a lot of talent in the pony fandom that, not that other fandoms don't have it, but it seems to be more abundant.
Our autism is more weaponized than others.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Enigma. Well, the next question, we're going to throw you a bit of a hardball. It's something that we've been doing new for our guests. We've hit this point where we have completed Generation 4. We're moving in an interesting direction where we have Generation 4.5 on the horizon, arguably Pony Life, and Generation 5 is in development. Where do we, as a community, go from here, assuming that we can't strike the lightning that is the Brony fandom twice?
Well, I don't think we can strike it twice because it's just the lightning analogy is pretty apt because it pretty much was just lightning in a bottle. Like the right creative minds with the right writers and animators together that made something special. But as far as where the fandom goes, I think we can keep going on. I mean, you look at how long, the most classic example is Trekkies. What was the gap of time between the last season of the original Star Trek and the first movie? And they kept going strong. And then you look at other fandoms like Shudder of Shudders, the Sonic fandom, who pretty much haven't had a really high quality show since like the mid 90s, and they're still going strong. So I don't think we're gonna go anyway. I think, as with most things, the flames of passion will die down a little bit. But I don't know. I think we'll probably remain open to things like G4.5 and G5 and stuff, and we'll watch it, but I don't think it'll ever be as fiery and passionate as it was in the early seasons of G4.
Well said, well said. And now, without further ado, first of all, let's start off this thread with the correct question. Who is best pony?
You asked that as a question. Applejack, of course.
That's what I was trying to work my way into. First of all, cute Applejack.
Bold choice to choose a background character.
Bitch, I'll cut you.
He will. He's been trained to do so.
Come at me. I'll probably like it.
And you made it weird.
Speaking of liking it, we already have questions from the thread.
Yeah, speaking of making it weird.
Yeah.
The first question is from the other guy. How much of a chopstick can you fit through your baby making tube?
I would say negative 40 feet, we'll say. Because no.
But why not?
The fact that I merely have to explain that says volumes, Anon. Just saying.
But why not?
When you're saying negative 40, that makes it sound like the inside of your penis is like erecting outward, like Pinocchio's nose.
Oh!
I just visualized that. That's in my eye sockets now. Thank you.
Yes, that is indelibly burned into my brain. Thank you. I appreciate that. I will leave here a changed man.
Good. You're making a difference in lives.
Speaking of making a difference in lives, we have more questions, and we're going to start. We're going to start out in the thread with a lovely friend, Short Skirts and Explosions, who changed his avatar to a very rip and tear sort of way. He asks, "What doth life?"
Well, how did I ask that question? People aren't wearing enough hats.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
Please tell me someone got that reference.
No, I'm sorry. Also, did Priest do it? Priest, are you alive?
I'm alive.
Okay. Were you just contemplating the nature of hats?
I was contemplating the nature of hats, yes.
Wait, don't in the British, isn't the British slang for condoms hats?
What?
No, you're in the right ballpark. It's from Monty Python and the Meaning of Life, where they're talking about the meaning of life, and people aren't wearing enough hats.
I remember that. I haven't thought about that in a long fucking time. Thank you for the trip down memory lane.
Hey, you're welcome.
Speaking of memory lane, we have a follow-up from the last question from other guy. Once you remove the chopstick from your dick, would you be able to eat sushis with it, or do you not know how to use chopsticks?
I do, and actually, the way I learned was when I was stationed in South Korea. We went out eating to a restaurant with some of the Korean soldiers that work with us, and I sat the guy down and I had him hold the chopsticks in the air and had him make the motion of opening and closing them in front of my face for like 5 straight minutes while I just stared. And that's how I learned to use chopsticks. It was literally like some sort of, copycat demon thing.
Well, that's super creepy.
Hey, I'm here for you.
Oh, no.
Yes. Setton's up next. Number 1. What is your favorite meal, snack, or food stuff that's really unhealthy, but it's just so good?
Oh, that's easy. Chicken fried steak with mashed potatoes and country gravy. That shit'll take 5 years off your life, and it'll be worth every second of it.
I'm pretty sure you just talked about porn on our cast. Which I'm not sure how I feel about.
You literally just gained 5 pounds hearing me say that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think that's true. Oh, sweet Jesus.
Number 2. What is the biggest or weirdest fear that you have?
Fear?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well. Okay, this is a weird one. It's something that makes me cringe uncontrollably. Getting a paper cut in weird places. Like, I remember the first Jackass movie, I think it was. The dude gave himself a paper cut on his eyelid, or in this, exactly, the skin between his toes, and I spent 20 minutes just going, yeah.
Dude,
Nope, don't like that. Nope, don't like that.
I am cringing here from these fucking imageries.
Hey, that's for the urethra hanging out my dick image.
Don't like that.
I don't want my foreskin paper cutted.
Who does? I'm sure someone does. Don't answer that. But no, just a lot of no.
The next question, as I close my door on this German Shepherd here, why is bag milk the best milk?
It is not.
Bag milk? I don't know. I've never been to the Great White North, so I've never experienced that. And I mean, I don't know. Part of it why would you want something in a bag that's structurally unstable when you can have it in a hard plastic container that sits neatly on the shelf and won't wiggle around? I don't get it.
Fucking thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Number 4. What is your one annoying habit? So something that other people do that drives you crazy, or something that you do that drives other people crazy?
Oh, that's an easy one. I don't know what it is. Someone told me at one point it may have been a mild form of either Tourette's or OCPD. But I have this weird thing where I'm constantly touching my face, smoothing out my eyebrows and pinching my nose and rolling my lips and shit. And just if you sit and have a conversation with me and we're sitting down, you look at my face for 5 minutes, it's gonna drive you crazy because I don't stop and I don't even know I'm doing it.
Okay.
I'm fucking weird, dude. What do you want me to say?
No,
You're among like-minded folks here when it comes to weirdness, so don't worry.
You're in good company. Now then, number 5. What is the theme song for your sex life?
Oh, that's a good one. The song I posted in the Behind the Counter. No, I'm kidding. For reference, I posted the Cannibal Corpse song that's very unfortunately named for men. But I don't know. I wish I had known about this question earlier, just because I could have come up with a witty response. But the first thing that popped in my head was Lonely Island, but that's not a song, so.
Well, it kind of is. I know the lyrics to that.
All by myself. The Sound of Silence.
Yeah.
I was thinking more "Come in My Pants," but okay.
Yeah.
The word is "jizz in my pants." I'm very familiar with that song.
Yeah, you would know it.
We're moving on. You set me up, and then I fell for your carefully laid trap. You rused me. Number 6. Jake, do you watch anime by chance?
I have tried. Because especially being a fan of cartoons and stuff, I'm very open to anime, and I have tried. If you can name any anime that is widely known or widely respected, I've likely watched a few episodes, and I can't get into it. It doesn't appeal to me. The animation, the tropes, the Japanness, I guess. Hang on one second. I got a phone call.
Oh.
Hello?
The Japan.
Let's listen in.
Sorry, it's just the food people. I had to buzz them in the gate. Sorry. So yeah,
Buzz them in the gate.
Ask the food person. Ask the food person who Best Pony is.
Are you going to have to ask your butler to please let them in through the gates and guide the kind Pizza Hut man through the foyer to deliver my pizza to me?
I'm realizing that Priest has not lived in an apartment, so he doesn't understand that the front gate is usually, something you have to pass people through for security purposes.
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah, that's normal, Priest. You're just, a homeowner, so you're spoiled.
Yeah,
Check
so
your
we're
privilege,
the
bitch.
uptight ones. Oh, buzz the butler, please go get them. Oh, look at all these commoners living in apartment buildings. Don't they have their own home and their own front yard? How do the other half live?
Priest, check your privilege.
I wish I had my own harem. There's only one person here that has their own harem.
I mean...
Okay, moving on.
Yeah, moving on.
Yeah, to get back to the question, there's been one anime that I've actually enjoyed, and that was Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I love that.
Hey.
I loved it so much. But everything else, it's like, I've tried, and I can't get into it. I don't like it.
Fair enough. Next question. How big is your porn stash?
I actually don't download any porn onto my computer for security purposes. Because I'm dead afraid that, I'm gonna, hang on, dang it, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Ask them who Best Pony is.
Yes.
While we're letting Jake take his call, be sure to consider subscribing to our stream, and you can unlock all of our new emotes. One of the emotes that we have right now is drink, and anytime you hear the drinking word, you can throw that emote in the chat, and it's a signal for everyone in the chat to drink. And I'm sure that's not going to get us in trouble on Twitch at all, ever.
Also, yeah, remember to wash your hands. Remember to wash your hands. Remember.
There's a beer thing going around apparently.
Wash your hands. Wash them. Wash your hands.
I'm back. I'm sorry. I
Did
apologize.
you ask him?
No, I didn't.
Wash
I
your
haven't
Coward.
even here yet. I'm still trying to guide them in. So shut up.
Wow, that's what she said.
Whoa, that is what she said.
Guide their hips.
Anyway, what was the question?
I don't even remember anymore.
Porn stash.
Oh, porn stash. Yeah, guys, I don't, because I'm terrified that I'm gonna die in a freak accident, and my family's gonna get to my computer, and they're gonna say, "Oh, let's see what Jake had going on." Oh my God, that's a lot of dicks. So, I don't say that stuff. I go in incognito mode, and I have my favorite websites that I go to. Yeah.
I feel that. I'm of a similar mind.
All right. Next question. If it needs to be asked, as if we didn't already know. Number 8, who is your waifu or husbando, and why are they shit?
Well, see, here's the funny thing. In the pony sphere, it is Applejack, of course, and but in a more universal sense, it's probably this is embarrassing too. It's probably Judy Hopps from Zootopia.
Oh, you want to fuck the bunny?
I do want to fuck the bunny very badly.
That bunny is good fucking.
Priest, do you want to fuck the bunny?
No. I mean, what bunny are we talking about?
Judy Hopps.
Yo, are we fucking talking about rabbits and fucking them? Because I'd totally do that.
Judy Hopps is fine. Watership Down is not.
Wait, it's specifically the girl rabbit? Well,
You
fuck
did
that.
Heisen play. Don't fucking lie. I know about your rabbit waifu, Priest.
Oh God. Oh,
Yeah.
what have I stumbled onto?
She is a good bunny.
Speaking of bunnies, I learned a random factoid the other day. I posted a blog about it yesterday. Did you know that the voice actress Kath Soucie, who voiced Lola Bunny in Space Jam, also voiced Sally Acorn on Sonic Sat AM? Think about that.
Really? That's
That
not
means-
okay.
This woman most likely created more furries than any human being on planet Earth.
Well, no, I don't think so.
Who voiced more more first tier waifus than her?
Well, we're assuming that most furries are straight men, which is inaccurate.
I
Okay,
remember.
fair
I
enough.
remember being a child, and I saw Space Jam, and I saw Lola Bunny, and I had weird feelings in my pee-pee.
Funly.
as a mostly as a person with sexual interest in things besides females, gotta say Disney had a bigger hand in a lot of things. Yeah.
I mean, all I know that Disney caused was
Balto's pretty hot. I'm not gonna lie. There we go.
Yeah, Disney did too. I will fully admit that that Maid Marian made 5-year-old Jake feel funny feelings.
Oh yeah.
Didn't Disney also cause a foot fetish thing because of Cinderella?
Or Ariel? Like we could argue
skirts.
that. Yeah, let's ask fucking skirts that one.
So, speaking of stealing questions from people, I'm going to take this question from Wanderer because even though it said for pencil, I'm going to take it. Take that, pencil. Ask that miscreant Jake if he watched Full Metal Panic from Mofu.
Full Metal Panic.
You would deeply no. You would enjoy this. You would remember. Trust me. You would genuinely enjoy this anime. It's
Army.
I say this because it's a military lad who's been put into a civilian high school and doesn't understand how to into not military.
One second.
Okay.
Ask him.
He's not going to ask him.
He's not going to ask.
He's not going to ask him.
Well, I want him to come back.
Okay, I'm back. I turned the mic off, and no, I wasn't going to ask her. She was a later middle-aged black woman, and
best not do that. Best not.
Yeah, I don't need to reinforce any negative stereotypes she may have about white people. Okay.
And that's all we'll say about that.
I totally forgot what I was asking.
So, Full Metal Panic. I will look into it. I will look into it.
Please do actually look into it. I feel like you would be entertained, if nothing else, by watching an episode.
Yeah. Oh no, there is one other anime I've recently found that I really, really enjoy. Interspecies Reviewers.
Oh,
shit.
I love that show. Is the most silly, stupid, shameless, exploitative, ridiculous shit I've ever seen, and I love it.
It's like something I would write.
It's not a point in its favor, Enigma.
Yeah, I think it was T-Nab who described it as I can't believe it's not hentai.
Interesting.
It's hilarious. It's stupid. I love it.
All right. Now we're going to Sunbro for Life, who asks, number one, what is your favorite video game?
Oh, of all time? Huh.
Yeah, we're gonna play hardball.
Oh. My first instinct is Resident Evil 4.
Ooh.
But if I'm going strictly by playtime, it's likely either the two that pop in mind are Resident Evil 2, the original, or Dark Souls 3. Like those are the two that pop in my head of like games I have played the most.
Interesting choices, I'll admit.
You said that like you don't believe what you're saying.
I'm judging you.
Yeah, I'm used to it.
Yeah.
All right. Next question is, what is your favorite boss fight in a video game?
That's a good one. Trying to think of one that really stuck out with me. The one, thinking about it, one of my favorites, and it's a FromSoft game again, so I'm kind of cheating here, but I would probably say Father Gascoigne from Bloodborne.
Oh.
Because it's an early boss, yeah, but it really is the first gut check of that game. Like, every up till that point you can hack and slash and you'll be fine. But this is the first one. Like, okay, can you riposte? Can you dodge? Do you understand the mechanics? And I thought it was a really effective boss fight.
It's like the first real boss was just an old man who turns into a furry midway through the battle.
Yeah. Bloodborne's a weird fucking game, but I love it.
Now then, number 3. Have you accepted Skeletor, the master of the universe, into your heart?
It's been a while.
Yeah!
You say such things, yet you do not know that the only true Skeletor is Frank Langella from Masters of the Universe.
It's time for your dick flattening, He-Man!
Oh my god.
Oh, why did we tell him about that?
Yes, honey. No, wait, how does He-Man say it again?
Why did you make He-Man so flamboyantly gay?
Oh. What's going on?
That's not what that's not what He-Man actually sounds like. That's just the one. God damn it. I hate you.
When I say, hey,
That's not actually what He-Man sounds like anymore. It's just a meme.
I think Anon's having an aneurysm.
That's pretty common.
It's because it's targeting her childhood.
Yeah.
Speaking of targeting the childhood, things I can't say on stream. But number 4, how you are in itty bitty Equin City, aka Ponyville. What business do you start?
You know, that's a good question because I've read a lot of I've read some stories that deal with that kind of stuff, but I think the smartest business decision to ever start was actually from a webcomic. You ever heard of Adorkable Twilight and Friends?
No, can't say I have.
Yeah, it's cute. You look it up. But anyway, in that, Spike starts up a business, a massage business, because he's the only one in town with hands, and it makes him a lot of money. So it made me think, that might be a lucrative business venture.
I think that'd be a solid idea.
She gets paid to touch people.
Now, number 5, for your FromSoft little heart, do you even praise, bro?
Bro, I praise it every day.
Yeah!
Actually, this is where I'm any good faith I have of people who like those games about to write about. I actually don't really like the original Dark Souls that much.
Oh.
I think, no, it's just because, you know what? I came into the series through Bloodborne, and then Dark Souls 2, and then Dark Souls 3, and then when I went back to Dark Souls 1, it's like, it's too many steps backwards from what I'm used to, and I respect it, what it accomplished, and what it was trying to do, but I'm not that big a fan of it. But, Solaire's my bro, so, yeah.
Jolly cooperation.
Speaking of cooperation, Terry the Human's up next. Number 1, what is your favorite and least favorite MLP episode?
Oh, wow. I think my favorite, and this is probably cheesy, but I'm probably going to go with Perfect Pair. Because, for years, we've been begging for information on Applejack and, her family's parents. And we always thought all we would get was those 2 little stars falling in Apple Family Reunion. And then they did it, and they pulled it off so well. And that song is still one of my favorite songs. Like, I get the feels every time I hear it. It's beautiful. I love it. And
So-
then, go ahead.
Lauren Foss said that they were in that star, so obviously her parents are astronauts now.
Of course, naturally. Worst episode? And this is telling because I love Spike so much. Both of them are Spike episodes. It's either a Spike at Your Service or Father Knows Beast. Because they just, Spike at Your Service, it's like, oh yeah, we've seen Spike be able to clean and cook and do all this stuff, but now he can't just because the fucking plot says so. And Father Knows Beast because, again, we've been asking for years, where did Spike's egg come from? How did he end up in Celestia's care? And when we finally got the answer, it wasn't an answer. They fucking punted it, and they gave us fucking Sludge, one of the worst characters the show has ever farted out. And, yeah, not a fan.
I like to think that that Celestia got his egg at the grocery market.
It came in a dozen.
Like, you know how, like, when you're a little kid and you get, like, a chicken egg that's meant for cooking, and you think, oh, if I keep it warm, it'll hatch.
All right. Number 2, what is your favorite memory as a brony?
Oh, as a brony. Okay. I thought y'all were going to go therapy on me. Okay.
We do go therapy, but now we're going horse therapy.
Okay. You know what? It's probably actually one of my favorite memories of all time, actually. It was at BronyCon, I think, 2013. And it's when I got to go on stage in front of almost 1,000 people and play improv games. Like Whose Line Is It Anyway? Because I love entertaining people. I love making people laugh. And so having a couple hundred people laughing their ass off at something I said. It's just, that's the best feeling in the world. So wouldn't trade that memory for anything.
Awesome. Number 3. Who was worse, Zephyr Breeze or Spoiled Rich?
Zephyr Breeze, just because he's, I don't know, for personal reasons I don't like him. But like Spoiled Rich, it's like, we never saw if she learned her lesson after Crusaders of a Lost Mark, but and she's a rich cunt, which okay, that's kind of her thing, but at least she was entertainingly awful. Zephyr Breeze was just painful to watch.
Also, Spoiled Rich kind of makes up for it by having decent porn.
That too.
Well, we're doing somewhat good on time. So yeah. I have an interesting question for you on this.
I think to go back to real quick to go back to what he just said. I think my favorite quote is from DWK about Spoiled Rich when he goes, "I totally rail her into the headboard while she posted on Facebook about how inadequate I am." All right, sorry. Continue your question. What were you asking?
Do you think Zephyr Breeze would have been written into the show the way he was if bronies never became a thing?
I think the concept of him, of a character who, who is too afraid to commit and afraid to try because he's so afraid of failure. I think that would have made there. But I mean, you look at like that and the episode where they published their friendship journals, and it's like the show knew exactly what it was doing. They know who they were talking about in those episodes. So I think the nuance of him wouldn't have existed without us, but the core probably would have.
All right. Fair enough. Number 4. What is your favorite male-female ships?
Well, anyone that knows me knows I'm a fan of Big Mac and Rainbow Dash. I think they're adorable together. I think, they make sense to me, but that's probably shipper logic. And, yeah. And then other ones from the show, I don't know. It's like, because this is the thing, is like, there are, I mean, especially after a few seasons, there are decent male characters, but the best of them, is married, so he's off the table. And then, I don't know, I like, for some reason, I like the idea of Spike and Sweetie Belle. And I know that's kind of creepy, because it's like, the whole concept of the consolation prize. But, I don't know, I like it. I like them.
All right.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of art of those, too.
Now then, how much of a Mary Sue is Flurry Heart?
Well, I don't really think we can count her as a Mary Sue simply because she doesn't have character. She's a baby. She's a stereotypical baby, and that's it. And the whole thing of her being very powerful magically, it's like, doesn't make a lot of sense. I wish they hadn't made her an alicorn, because that would have made it more interesting. Like, okay, you got a really powerful unicorn like Shining Armor and an alicorn like Cadence, and their child is something else, but I don't know. We don't know enough about who she grows up to be to label her a Mary Sue or not, in my humble opinion.
She grows up to be stained glass in the castle.
Yeah, that too.
Speaking of stained glass, number 6, is Flurry Heart a demon from hell?
As much as I love that bit from DWK's reviews, no. She's just a wee babu who happens to hold the power, to break incredibly ancient, powerful magical artifacts by pitching a shit bit. So, yeah.
It's the human equivalent of a baby coming out of the womb holding a goddamn gun.
Mm-hmm. And even though I've lived most of my life in Texas, that shit doesn't happen.
Yeah, number 7. Which is the better story, My Little Dashie or Cupcake?
It's not even a fucking question. Because My Little Dashie, because at least Rob, tried to tell a story. And it works. It's just manipulative as hell and cheesy. But, it's again, it had a plot line that made sense in the universe. And Cupcakes is just lol gore. So, yeah. Plus Rob's good peeps, so I'm going to give him the nod.
Hey, what's wrong with Lol Gore?
Oh, that's right. Was it you or Titty Sprinkles that once wrote a story that was nothing but a compilation of Spike getting murdered horribly?
I helped with that. I helped with that.
Yeah. So.
I mean, I also convinced Rob to write a scat fic, and he did. So.
Oh my God.
I'm a bad influence, and I know it.
Our
I'm proud.
influence knows no bounds.
I'm not ashamed.
Do you like ponies with freckles?
Absolutely. I think freckles are adorable in the real world, so, you know.
My man.
Ponies. That's all I said about. That's what I said about why I love Applejack so much, because her personality is very endearing, and I'm a sucker for a girl with freckles. So.
Aw. Number 9. Who would you befriend if you were a pony?
Like in the show?
Yeah.
I
mean, I think there's a difference between like. No. Who would you befriend?
Yeah, you got one friendship bullet in the chamber. Who do you fire on?
Fucking friendship bullet.
Probably. I think. I don't know. I know this is a shitty answer, but probably Applejack, or if not her, Twilight. Just because they're the only ones that are, have endearing personality traits and are not annoying as shit.
Yeah. All right.
Right between the eyes.
And the next question is, thank you, Milo. What do you think of this baby pony foal, and would you adopt him?
What baby?
In the chat.
It's in the chat? Okay, I'm going to look at it. Behind the counter. Aw, little bat pony. I think bat ponies are adorable. That's one of on my short list of things I wish the show had done. Revisiting or making bat ponies actually be a thing is up there, because I realized that they were probably in the show canon. They were probably just guards in costumes in Lunar Eclipse, but I don't know. I thought that could have been a really interesting little take, but
yeah. No, I think they're a legitimate race, and I do think Lunar Eclipse. I don't think they're in costumes there. Anyway,
I know I've seen them in the IDW comics. Like I know Andy Price had them in the background in his stories, so they exist in some form.
Yeah, it's probably in some sort of what's the book of like laws or rules of the universe that show writers usually build. It's probably in there
Bible?
somewhere. The show Bible. Yeah. Anyway, totally not a brony's up next. Can you discuss some of the differences between those?
No.
We're moving on to Entibus.
Thank you.
I can answer that in a non-political way.
Yay! Do it.
Okay. Because the biggest thing when you're interviewing a military person is there are similarities, and as far as usually when you want to talk to someone, you're going to get funneled to someone that knows what they're doing. Like, but the couple times I've asked to interview generals, I usually been steered towards their public affairs officer, which is usually like a lieutenant colonel or something, because they know how to talk. Because the one time I did get to interview a general, this dude fucking sucked. Like, all he could do was spout talking points and bullet points, and anytime I tried to press on anything else, well, you see, so yeah, it was bad. But as far as it really comes down to your intent, because in the military, your job title is twofold. You're broadcast journalist. You're also public affairs, which makes you essentially a glorified cheerleader. So you're not interviewing a general to ask a gotcha question or anything like that. You're interviewing to try to get their story out and get their message out. So it's kind of softball. Whereas when you're talking with civilians, more likely than not, you're actually looking for a story, and so it could be a little more combative. So that's my non-political answer.
A solid answer indeed.
Nicely done. I'm proud of you.
Entibus is up next. Number 1. You enter a room. A monkey is swinging from a trapeze below you. There is an anvil falling indefinitely in an elevator shaft, and there's a duel occurring between two Pegasi. Do you fold?
Well, I'm reminded of what my grandpa used to tell me. If you fuck a duck, I'm scared of toasters.
Moving on to number 2.
Pretty much.
I'm lost. Number 2, what are your opinions on Kelpies?
I have no idea what that is.
They're an endless obsession. And literally one person's going to get the reference I made. Pencil,
I know what they are as well, but have Pencil explain it better.
No, you know what? No. I want to hear Enigma explain what a Kelpie is. Enigma, what are Kelpies?
Kelpies are from Irish or Scottish folklore, one of those two. They are a sort of ghost horse that if you get on top of, they drag you into the water, the grave.
Oh.
Oh, that's not that wrong. You're a little off. It's also worth noting that a Kelpie is also a very nice breed of dog.
Okay. Because, the first one sound like a bunch of assholes, but the second one sounds adorable, and I kind of want to meet one.
Well, the horse version, they are a mythical, like, bog river horse. So, like, they'll fuck your shit up, man, and trying to catch one is folly, but the moment you see one, you want to have it.
So what you're saying is no one's written a Clop story about one yet.
When a lot of people were first trying to figure out what sea ponies were, a lot of people tried to write them as, like, Kelpies. I'm not gonna lie.
And the way Kelpies work is if you get on top of them, you can't get off them, and they run straight for water with you on them.
Hey, that's probably someone's fetish, man. That's someone's fetish, man.
Shooby-doo.
A never-ending ride, baby.
It's like Sirens, but with horses and more slime.
Again, that's probably someone's fetish.
And you know a horse is a Kelpie if you notice that they have like a dripping mane or something like that.
That's not quite right, but yeah. There's a lot of other better Kelpie information. I'm just doing it basic.
Yeah, basic.
Yes.
Number 3, what is your favorite story of yours that you've worked on? Actually, no. What is your favorite story that you have personally worked on?
Oh, so it doesn't have to be my story. Okay. That's a really good question. I
mean, don't pick your friends or anything, but...
Well, no. I honestly think it is by a story by the author Hap, who is a good friend of mine, and but the story is called Decade, and it's incredible. The basic premise of the story, I don't want to give too much away, but basically it's a flashlight story, but it takes a real interesting twist where, like, Flash tries to prove, that he is worthy of Twilight, and then things happen, and it just spirals out of control. And the last chapter was almost a year ago, and I don't think he's going to finish it, but what's there is absolutely incredible, and I love it.
Oh my god, Flashlight's the name of the ship. I just got it.
I mean...
Thank you for shining a light on that for me.
I mean, it's better than the ship Fleshlight.
Who is Flash?
Thinkpone.
Oh, Thinkpone. I love Thinkpone. She's adorable and horrible. I love her.
That's a wonderful ship, and you fucking take that back.
We will talk about Thinkpony later because we fucking love her, and I kind of like the idea of Fleshlight being a... Enigma, would you like to keep that to write a story, or I've been wanting to write a Thinkpone story. Can I get one?
You can go ahead. I am writing a bunch of other stuff at the moment. I am swamped.
Okay. I would like to write about Fleshlight. Thank you so much.
What have I done?
You're doing great work right now. Number 4, can you name 10 valid symptoms for death? Or, sorry, no, I like my question better. Symptoms for death.
Symptoms for death?
Symptoms.
Okay. Not breathing, no heartbeat, rigor mortis, bluish skin, the exhalation of all bodily fluids, and you know what I'm talking about. Apparently an erection. I've heard that before. I've heard that sometimes, like funeral homes have to like have a half-closed coffin because the dead will pop a stiffy or something. It has to do with nitrogen in the blood or some shit. I don't know.
You're missing one of the easiest ones.
Being Walking Dead?
No head. No head.
Well, if that's the case, you'd be dead since the moment you were born, Enigma, because I don't think you've ever had head.
Ooh.
Pencil
I'm sorry.
Poor baby.
Remind me to send you champagne later, Pencil.
I will actually take you up on that right now. But we should actually ask the actual question as it was posted as well, because I'm curious to hear you do it.
Can you name 10 valid synonyms for death?
Synonyms. All right, let's see. Kick the bucket, shuffle the mortal coil, pushing up daisies.
Drinking
Exit
the
stage
Kool-Aid.
left is a good one. Gone to see the grandparents. I'm trying not to just recite the dead parrot speech. So
The sideways limbo.
To go gentle into that good night.
Yeah. Signing off. That's one journalists have. Signing off.
By the farm.
Yeah. I don't know. That's all I got off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
I feel like we're missing 6 feet under.
Sleeping with the fishes.
Oh, that's a good one too. That also means okay, what's just a good way of saying somebody is dead? Someone is passed on. Someone is deceased. Deceased. You can use the nice words.
Their book has finished.
Did I say shuffle the mortal coil?
Yes, that was one of the first ones, and I love that one a lot.
I got a free churro.
That's a terrible synonym for death.
Bought the farm. That's one.
I just said that.
You
Yeah,
did. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I
was gonna say one, but then I realized it was too political.
I made
Good
it
boy.
So I'm
Good
gonna
boy.
Take that. I'm gonna take that with me.
I think I know what you're gonna say, and very good. Okay. Anyway. Okay. So yeah, that's all I got.
Number 5. Are the moms asleep?
You're talking to me right now, aren't you?
Post peonies. There we go.
Monsters
Number
sleep
6.
post sinks.
Is this a question?
I don't know. What doth life?
Question 136. The one we've all been waiting for. Can you do a diamond dog impression?
Let's see. We hunt for gems.
All right, Skeksis, I see you. Yeah. Yes. Skeksis friends. Anyway,
Used the living fuck out of me for trying.
it was great. I'm just gonna make fun of you for it.
There just wasn't enough David Bowie for me. Anyway.
Yeah.
The other guy is up next and has a question for you. How does this picture make you feel?
I literally just stepped outside for a cigarette, so let me go back inside. Oh. That's,
Shark bait.
shark's certainly trying, It's, it's desperate for love and trying to take the form of someone you want to, okay.
Here, hold on. Let me get the child's opinion.
It sucks that you can't go over to your girlfriend's house tonight, big brother. Maybe I could be your Twilight Sparkle for the evening.
Oh, God.
Let me show this to the child. Let me see what she says.
Oh, God, we're gonna show the child.
What do you think about this?
Who's the child?
That's
Oh,
like-
it's a literal child. Okay.
It's super weird and it's crazy and crazy like you.
Wonderful. You can leave now.
Thank you, Tiny Enigma.
I thought that was a screen name of some kind, but
No.
Right, what is that in Latin?
Enigmita, or whatever we call her. Enigmita. I can tell Enigma's really upset that I just said that. But we need a name for the child, since we just call it the child, and we can't keep calling it the baby, okay?
Even I call her child.
Have
The
you
spawn.
seen the child?
The Spawn.
We will call her Enigmita until she comes up with a name for herself.
Okay. The next question, I need to put my glasses back on so I can read. How much charity money would it take for you to star in a porno?
Charity money?
Yeah, so a charity of your choice, how much would a person have to donate to that charity for you to star in a porno?
Probably a lot. I don't I'm pretty shy about that kind of stuff. So, I mean, yeah, it had to be a significant amount. Like we're talking in the at least 6 digits.
Really? $75,000 in hand?
Sorry,
no.
I meant 7 digits. Sorry, I'm bad.
He doesn't.
No,
Okay.
six digits. That's like hundreds of thousands.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Priest. He doesn't get to keep the money. It goes to charity.
Yeah.
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 Meh.
Yeah. See.
Meh, see? Meh.
Coffee Minions up next. It is. Oh, fuck. It's fucking time. I can feel a fight about to start. I can feel a riot about to happen. Jake, this is our moment. Flutter Priest versus Jake the Army Guy. Anthrax, Megadeth, Metallica, or Slayer. Which do you choose?
I'm gonna get some hate, but Metallica, man. Metallica is they were the first rock band I ever listened to, and I've been obsessed with them ever since. I even like Saint Anger, despite its many flaws. I still think there's some good songs on there, and yeah, I love Metallica. I've loved everything they've ever done, and yeah.
No way. Metallica coasted off of the success that Dave Mustaine put into them. Megadeth is better, hands down.
Well, their best album had no Dave Mustaine songs on it, so yeah.
I mean, Metallica's best. I'm assuming you mean Master of Puppets,
Of course, greatest album.
which doesn't even compare to like Rust in Peace or Peace Sells.
Peace Sells? I mean, Rust in Peace I can get, but Peace Sells, come on, man.
It's a great album.
It is a great album, but it's
There's
not
so
compared
much
to fucking
anger.
Puppets.
So Milk, how are you doing?
Okay,
I don't
tell
know,
you
man.
what.
I don't know.
Tell you what. Let's agree on one thing. Fuck Anthrax.
Not fuck Anthrax. They've had some good stuff, but I don't know. Yeah, I like all the big four, but I will say Anthrax is the weakest of them. So
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
I guess.
We will agree on that. We'll agree on that.
And you guys seem to not have anything to really say about Slayer.
Well, Slayer's just fucking Slayer, man. It's like they're like the quintessential thrash metal band, and they're the AC/DC of thrash metal bands. They're so consistent, and they're so like not just like quality level, but tonally. Like their albums, it's like the new Slayer album's gonna come out. Is it gonna be good? Well, of course it is. It's fucking Slayer.
I want popcorn for what is about to be said.
Slayer is like straight up my favorite of the big four. And I think Megadeth is more skilled and more technically proficient, but I've seen Slayer 4 times. I've had my nose broken in a Slayer pit. I've dislocated my arm in a Slayer pit. Like it has been the best experiences, but that said, I will be the first person to say, the songs kind of begin to run in together with each other. Like, it gets samey after a while.
Yeah, but see, my thing is, like, all of the big four, except maybe Anthrax, they all have something they do better than the others. Like, Metallica has the most variety in their music. Megadeth is the most technically focused band. Slayer is all about that aggression and speed and anger, and Anthrax just kind of exists.
It's true. So I think it's only fair that we go to the bonus round of Death Angel, Exodus, Overkill, or Testament.
I gotta go with Overkill. I really like, and surprisingly, my favorite album from theirs is not one of their classics. It's actually Ironbound, the one they put out in I think 2009 or something. I think it's their best album, so I would go with Overkill.
See, now I feel like this is cheating because at this point today, half of Slayer is half of Exodus, so it's kind of not.
That's true.
It's not really a fair comparison. I think Exodus is the better of those 4, but Testament still consistently puts out great music.
Yeah, they do, and and I would say, why not put up bands like, what about Creator? It's like, you could just, it's like people talking about, with the big four, like, oh, it should have been the big 6, and I'm like, well, it could have been the big 8 and the big 10 and the big 12. You could just keep going and adding great old school thrash bands, but so yeah.
All right, do I need to apologize? Did we stay too long on these questions?
Nah, you're good, bro.
This was genuinely great, and it is about that time for an ad break.
And now a word from our sponsors.
It's true.
Exactly.
In fact, our sponsor for today's video is you, Jake. Tell us about what you got going on in your life.
Well, I wish I had thought to ask y'all to come on a couple of weeks ago, but I had a writing contest, Jake the Army Guy's Horse Word Extravaganza, in which I put forth the prompt and I had several prizes, and the second place prize, which really, now think about it, probably should have been the first place prize, but it was the second place prize was an interview with you guys. So whoever our second place winner is will be featured on the Barcast because you guys are awesome and you're willing to do that for me. Thank you so much.
Of course.
And we had a lot of fantastic entries. You know, we didn't have as many as the first time. The first time we had like 40 entries. This time I think we capped it like 14. But it's still great because I'm afraid like so many really talented authors, some of my favorites on the site, wrote for this contest, and I hope because I have. It's very difficult for me to write anymore, but I'm glad I could spark some creativity and get people to produce amazing content. And we have some amazing stories. And I'd say give us about a week or so for us all to finish reading them all, and we'll be announcing the winners. So, but to everyone that participated, thank you so much. You were all amazing. And anyone listening, you should go check it out. The group is called Jake the Army Guy's Horse Word Extravaganza, and you can find the entries there. And so it's a great thing, and I'm thankful to the Barcast for participating and letting me whore it out and everything. So yeah, it's great.
I mean, we're pretty much already whores for whoever gives us like alcohol
Or money.
It's true, that too.
And
But
do we keep the
of
money
money-
though, Priest? Curious, do we keep the money?
No, in fact, we send it all to Red Wings Horse Sanctuary, where we have a horse that you guys, the listeners, have voted on, and we are supporting through charity money. Things like subscriptions to our channel, things like Patreon, things like YouTube advertisements. When you support those, or when you guys check those things out, we send money to Red Wings Horse Sanctuary for all of the money that we receive. And last year, we were lucky enough to raise over $700 to send to Red Wings Horse Sanctuary. It's not as much as our previous year, $1,000, but we're still trying to do our very best, bring you guys awesome guests, ask the hard-hitting questions like, what do you think of bag milk? And give you guys a good laugh here and there. We're trying to really engage with you guys and show new like emoticons on Twitch, things that you guys have wanted for a long time. Do you have suggestions for us? Please throw us a line. Let us know what you think. And if you do have time, please consider donating at least $1 to our Patreon, where you can see things like our behind the counter chat, and see all these weird pictures we post, like this. I'm posting weird stuff right now.
Ooh.
And also, it's worth noting, if you're not willing to donate money and you're just not feeling like you have enough, there's a little diamond in the lower right-hand corner of your chat box on Twitch. If you click that and you say get bits, you can watch bits. You can get bits by watching short ads. Then donate those bits to us. The bits actually translate to real money, and we can use that money to donate towards horses as well. The top donator will get a little shout out at the very end of the stream. And so we're keeping track of that right now. Right now, I see you, Random Fast Reader and Alex. Thank you for that. So donate when you can, and we really appreciate every cent.
Yeah, that's really cool that y'all do that. That y'all actually support a charity with your money and stuff. That's cool. Question: does the horse has a name, right? That you're
Little Bit. His name is Little Bit.
is Little Bit. The full name is Little Bit of Stardust, but Little Bit. Little Bit.
That's shockingly poetic for this group. Not gonna lie.
We did support a different horse a couple of years ago. He was an older boy, and he passed away. And then the viewers voted on which horse to support. So we support a little bit of Stardust, and I'll even post a link to it in the chat about them.
The previous horse OD'd from the money we gave him because he kept buying blood. He kept buying hookers and blackjack and snorting cocaine.
But yeah,
ketamine.
Our current horse that we subscribe to is actually a therapy horse, and he's really sweet and is helping other horses adjust to the climate of being rescued. And on top of that, all the money that we send does things like make sure he has hay to eat and changes his horseshoes and gives him dental appointments.
He's adorable. I love him. He's great.
And he's sweet. He's very. Someday we hope to go out there and do a photo shoot with him and give him hugs and stuff in person. But today is not that day. Today we have Jake the Army Guy. Jake, be more adorable. Be more adorable, Jake.
You could have had an adorable little horse. Instead, you had my fat ass.
Be more adorable, Jake. It's time.
When you said we could have had...
I really hope you guys will donate to the cause.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Is that what a horse sounds like to you?
Well, without further ado, this is your time, Jake. What are we doing? We have questions now from Mugni for you. Are you my father? He asks you.
Statistically, probably not.
Number 2 is, do you love me?
Well, I share a love of all human beings because it's my religious beliefs. But personally, you're all right.
Now, number 3. That was a rhetorical question. Love is an abstract concept which we use to fill in a void. We love those closest to use because generations of evolution have taught us to be close to one another.
All right,
So
put down the katana, our atheism.
Is to be unchained from evolution's desire. To appreciate ourselves is all we should desire. The next question is there anything in the world...
Milady?
Is there anything in the world more miserable than a wet cat?
No, because I've seen that before. We had when I was growing up, we had a cat that literally hated everyone but my mother. And at one point, the cat fell in the toilet, not the toilet, in the bathtub, and it was hilariously horrible to watch because it was a deep tub and it was pretty much full because I was actually about to get in. And this thing was just flapping and screaming and trying to get out, but it couldn't. And anytime you tried to reach in to get her out, she would start scratching at you. And, I would have felt bad, but when I was really little, she almost scratched my eyeball, so I didn't really feel that bad. So, yeah.
Awesome. Kitty cat.
I'm glad you think my near, body-wrecking injury as a child is awesome.
I mean,
You survived it. You survived
whatever
it.
doesn't kill us makes us stronger. Like, I'm not gonna lie. There was a time when I was on my bike, and I just learned how to take off training wheels. Like, I was doing great. I ran into a tree and broke 3 bones. Like, and I'm like, yeah, that was fucking awesome.
Well, yeah, it was great. You enjoyed it when you got your fucking arm dislocated in that mosh pit.
Yeah, no, and there was like a random neighbor guy that picked me up, and he could have totally abducted me, but he took me home, and that was great.
And I remember you smiling during your dick flattening session.
Okay, we're moving on.
Again, you had to make it weird.
I mean, Enigma usually does that. like the time in Vegas with the stripper.
Hey, I asked her a legitimate question.
I disagree. Now then, number 5. How is your R day?
Say it again?
How is your R day?
My R day? How was my day? My day's pretty good. I filed my taxes, which is never fun, but I found out I'm actually getting a return this year, which is awesome. Other than that, just hung out, watched some live streams, had a good fap, usual Friday stuff.
That's a good day.
Yeah.
God, I haven't had a good fap in a while.
Well, that sounds like a personal problem to me.
Well, he has family around all the time.
Are you only having bad facts?
The lead up is more rewarding than the actual end.
You fail at life when you even fap miserably.
Enigma, you poor soul.
The journey was more rewarding than the destination.
God, get some lube or something. Just get some something. Put a banana up your ass. I don't know. Do something to help. Okay, man.
Actually, I would not suggest a banana. If you clench too hard, then it's a really bad time.
Yeah, no, actually, that's true. No bananas.
I can imagine.
Hansel, were you shoving bananas in the priest's?
No, I don't do that for people. They have to do that on their own.
I do that shit on my own time.
So, priest, you were making those bananas chocolate coated?
I was making banana bread.
Okay, so anyway, more questions for Jake.
All right, Chad the Lad's up next. Number 1, Star Wars or no?
I would say this, because, I like Star Wars, but I didn't get into Star Wars till very late. I don't think I watched the original trilogy until, the same year that the Phantom Menace came out. So I would have been, 14 or so. So I never really had a nostalgic connection to it. So I enjoy Star Wars, but, I mean, it's, it's all right.
All right. Number 2, video games or no? We kind of covered it a little bit earlier, but
yeah, I love video games. I don't play video games very much anymore, but I'm a big fan of them. I follow the media and the stories and stuff, and I'm a big fan of what they can do for people and how they can help people deal with stuff. And I'm not necessarily one of these video games or art types, but I definitely think they're a valid form of expression. And at least when they're not being run by horrible companies like EA and whatnot, they're when they're creator driven, they're something special.
totally fair. Number 3, do you have a favorite dad joke?
I do have a good one, but I don't know if it counts as a dad joke. It's more of a nerd joke. But my favorite one is, hey man, always remember you can't trust atoms. They make up everything.
Jesus.
I know.
Oh, that's a dad joke. That's a dad joke.
I know what my favorite dad joke is.
Yours?
Me.
Oh. What's your favorite dad joke? That yours loved you?
That's the truth, actually. That's the joke.
That is a joke.
Is existence. Speaking of existence, number 4, what's your favorite color?
Color? I like my favorite crayon growing up was forest green. It's kind of a deep hued green. I love it.
All right. Number 5, what is your favorite music genre?
Well, I'm a real big fan of country western. People who know me about that, who know me know about that. Now, heavy metal, man. I'm a huge fan of heavy metal. I love it. The musicianship, the intensity of it. I love it. Oh, although I do gotta say, I'm not a big fan of the crunch Cookie Monster vocals type metal. I prefer the more power metal inspired stuff with the soaring vocals and the high intensity guitar solos and whatnot. That's the kind of stuff I love.
So like Nightwish or Dragonforce or
I actually don't like Dragonforce because I Dragonforce is what I call guitar porn. In that it musically serves the same service as porn. Quick and dirty, 4 or 5 minutes, it's awesome, and then when you're done, you kind of feel like you need a shower.
Yngwie Malmsteen type music.
Yeah, where it's just like, I'm gonna noodle on the guitar for 20 minutes because I think it's cool. No, I like more structure than that.
Fair enough. Save a horse, ride a horse girl. I don't know. Number 6. What is your favorite horse meme? Or favorite meme? What is your current favorite meme?
The one that gets me every time, no matter how many times I see it and in what context I laugh, it's that screaming cowboy. I know it's stupid, and I always know it's going every time.
It's not stupid. It's great. I love it so much. I love the song that goes. I love everything about it. It is not stupid.
I love it. I laugh every single time I hear it. It's amazing.
For some reason, whenever I imagine that man in my mental head, he looks like Doug Dimmadome.
That's another favorite meme of mine. When a reaction image, it'll be Doug Dimmadome, and it'll be, how about you, Dimmadome?
Next question. Number 7. The age-old question: cat burps or fish burps?
Cat burps. I love griffins. I think they're cool. I wish they do more with Gilda. But Gabby is awesome, and Gallus is my boy. So yeah, I got to go with cat burps.
Yeah, we need more burbs up in here.
Now then, the next set of questions comes from Alex _. And you know what? I'm going to indulge Alex for a moment here. I'm going to redeem one of his dreams. Enigma, this is your questions. Go for it.
I'm not looking at the questions right now because I'm dealing with child.
Moment ruined.
That is fine.
Fucking.
I give you a chance to shine, and instead you choose to play
So
with
this
the
is
child.
the level of professionalism I can expect from the Barcast.
No one is playing with the child. People are tolerating the child.
Be nice to Enigmita. It's not her fault you're shit.
Well, then, I guess in that case,
Exactly.
I have to go to the backup pencil. Would you like these?
No, but I will. We're on Alex questions. I'm looking at them, just making sure. These are Alex Priest. We're on.
Yes, Alex _. Yes.
Thank you. Whoop, Alex says. Would you rather be covered in whipped cream in public, spend an amorous evening with someone covered in cheese whiz, or be forced to eat 7 raw eggs? My cat says that too.
Why do you sound like GLaDOS? But whatever. What was the middle one?
Spend an amorous evening with someone covered in cheese whiz.
I would say that one because it depends on the person. Like, you know, there are some people out there that's like, I don't care what you're covered in, as long as it's not bodily fluid, we're doing things. This is happening.
What if it's your own bodily fluid?
No,
You're not gonna be intimate with somebody who's got your cum on them.
I think cum is gross. You know, I'm the kind of guy. Once it's done, it's like, okay, get it off me. I'm done. Just.
But it's your own
Wow.
recipe. You made it yourself.
So if a girl gives you head and you come in her mouth, you'll be like, "Get away from me! Don't kiss me! Don't touch me!"
Well, no, as long as she spat it out, you know, first.
Why would she spit it out?
Or.
You swallow that.
There's zinc. There's useful zinc in there. You don't be wasteful.
This conversation's making me uncomfortable now. Can we move on?
Yes. What can you achieve with 10,000 apricots and a lot of imagination?
World domination.
I would agree with that. The answer is also some bomb-ass alcohol, man. Rapid fire word association. Are you ready?
Nope, but let's do it anyway.
Quickly say the first thing that comes into your head when you're following words, and I will use this BuzzFeed quiz to diagnose. Are you ready?
Well, if it's BuzzFeed, I can already tell you it's going to be shit, but okay.
Here we go. Happy.
Sad.
Friend.
Enemy.
Relief.
Come.
Worms.
Dog.
Mother.
Father.
Horse.
Donkey.
Based on those answers, it says that there's no fixing you. Sorry.
I could have told you that and saved us all the time.
What is the best thing that's happened to you in the last week?
Let's see. Last week, nothing really good or bad happened last week. It was just kind of neutral. Okay. I'd say I had a day off from my second class on Thursday. My teacher was traveling, so I didn't have class in my afternoon. So that was good.
That's not such a bad thing. All right. One last question. I'm going to put on a different voice for it because of the way it's written. Are you a bad boy?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Good. And the next questions are from me.
I think that's a good spot for me to take back over.
I'm
Yeah,
terrified.
you're gonna take over for my questions? Thanks,
No.
asshole.
Go ahead.
All right.
If
So
you want.
Jake.
Yes.
So, about how you embarrassed the hell out of me with the whole Dave incident. Care to
Technically,
explain?
I didn't embarrass you. I just introduced a situation in which you were embarrassed.
Care to explain this to the people at
Okay, so the guy we're talking about, Dave, is Dave Hopkins, and if that name sounds somewhat familiar, he's the artist behind an old school webcomic that gained some infamy for wrong reasons called Jack. And I actually really love the webcomic. I'm a huge fan of it, and Dave's a great guy. And about a year or so ago, or maybe a little bit before that, I joined his Patreon and joined his Discord. And I got to meet him and talk and stuff. And as we were talking, fast forward to, was it BronyCon? Yeah, I think BronyCon. And me and Pencil were talking, and I mentioned Dave, and she goes, "Oh my God, I know him!" And I'm like,
Yeah, well, your avatar was definitely his art style. I was like, is that a Jack Hopkins drawing?
Yes, it's like, yeah.
Is that Dave Hopkins?
Yeah, and so I just mentioned that, and she said, "Oh, I know him. We used to be friends." I'm like, "Oh, cool. Let me send him a message on Discord so he can reach out to you so y'all can reconnect." And then it turns out that I assume you want to answer this one because
no, you go right ahead.
It turns out that it had been so long since they had talked that Dave had forgotten about her. And so Anon felt really, really tiny and bad because he had forgotten her. But there's a happy ending because once she reminded him about their relationship, they picked it right back up and they talk now. So there is a happy ending to this story. So ease off my back, bitch.
Never. I will never, because it's one of the most mortifying moments of my life. Like, yeah, Dave says he's never heard of you.
I'm saying I had no control over that.
That kind of gives me the idea, if someone forgot you, what thing do you say is supposed to jumpstart someone's memory of you? Like, for instance, if I forgot Pencil, the way to remind me would say, bathes in pig's blood. And it would...
Well, for me it was, hey, I did the art you used as your profile picture for like a year. So, and he still didn't remember me after I said that. So, it was great. But anyway, I was going to say, my next question was, but seriously, what are some good webcomics that you recommend?
Well, I don't read as many anymore as I used to. Like I said, way back in the day when I was in Korea, that was all I did. But I think a lot of the ones I used to like aren't around anymore. Like, there's obviously Jack, which still goes on Fur Affinity, but the website got shut down for various reasons. Beyond that, the other ones I remember watching was a lot of furry webcomics, because I was really getting into furry art at the time. Things like Broken Plot Device, I think was what it was called. It was sort of like a slice of life thing, but I think that's gone now. I used to be a fan of the Royal Sketchbook that Silpho did, which is basically following the lives of the Alicorn ponies and their families. That was really good. It kind of went off the rails for me recently, but it's still good. I mentioned Adorkable Twilight and Friends, which you could literally just go to on Derpyborough and search for Adorkable Twilight and Friends, and it'll come up. It's a really simplistic art style, and the humor it's just really good. It's characterizations that are different than the show, but also somewhat true to life, and I really like it. And then let's see what else.
Questionable content. Sorry.
Questionable content?
This wasn't a question for you, Priest.
I know. I'm sorry. Please continue with Jake.
I can't think of any more off the top of my head, honestly.
Well, that's fine, because I have one other question.
Okay.
Also, Dockies?
You bitch. I don't own one. There may or may not be photographic evidence of me interacting with one in some way, but I can neither confirm nor deny.
Was it a sexy Scootaloo?
Was it what?
Was it a sexy Scootaloo?
Was it? I don't even remember.
It absolutely was a sexy Scootaloo.
That you actually got me to interact with, because I remember talking about that because I was in the vendors hall at BronyCon, and I see this stand that's got all these dockies, and some of them are kind of sexy, and it's like, oh, okay, whatever, bronies are weird. And then I go around to the back, and there are ones that are like throw pillow sized, but they're the Cutie Mark Crusaders, and it's like, okay, how is that okay to be sold here? Like,
Yeah,
you literally have the underage fillies with their posteriors protruding, and it's like, okay, come on, really?
I will not post the image. For one thing, I have to go find
Send
it.
it to me, because I don't remember this.
I'll have to go find the image, but from what I remember, it is you in a bed with two donkeys, and one of them is definitely Philly Scootaloo.
I don't remember this. I want to. If this is a thing, I want to see it because I want to know how far I've fallen. Apparently,
It is somewhere. I'll just have to go hunt it down.
Remember, kids, what happens at cons doesn't stay at cons.
No, it doesn't.
what happens at cons ends up on the blotter.
I'll pass it over again to you then, Priest.
Okay. RK Striker JK5 is up next and asks, what is your favorite non-MLP franchise?
Like cartoons or just in general?
Just franchises in general, like anything that creates merchandise.
That's a good question. Well, the classics I like, like Star Trek and Power Rangers and here, you know what? I'm gonna go in my bedroom and I'm gonna look at my little wall of nerd stuff and see what else I can think of that I haven't already said. Because I have wireless headset and I can do that. Nope, pretty much ponies. So I'm fucking lame. Anyway, yeah. So I'd say Star Trek and Power Rangers, stuff like that. Ghostbusters, my favorite thing of all time.
All right. Next question: have you done any fan-related content for a non-MLP franchise?
Not really. I wrote a sort of proto first chapter for a Zootopia fanfic, but that was more of a spur of inspiration that petered out and died, like most of my inspiration does these days. But no, the only writing I've ever done has been pony stuff.
And then someone took your proto fanfic and turned it into Beastars.
Yeah, probably. I'm actually kind of excited for that. I'm excited because everyone's telling me like, hey, you like Zootopia, you'll probably like Beastars, and but I'm an anime pleb, and so I've been waiting for the dub because I don't know, it just makes it easier for me to digest.
Fair enough.
Telling us you can't read and speak Moonspeak.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can. I'm one of those few people that I usually watch movies and TV with subtitles on because my hearing isn't so good from my time in the military. Like, I have a hard time comprehending some things if they're talking too fast or if there's ambient noise or people with thick accents, which gets me in trouble so much in my day-to-day life. Like, go on a little tangent, in my government class, I'm in a group with a guy from Russia, and he has a very thick accent, and I've had to ask him to repeat himself like 5 times in a row, and it's the most mortifying feeling in the world.
And then you just hit that point where I still didn't understand you, but I'm
just nodding,
too
saying
embarrassed to keep asking.
Yeah. But like with anime and stuff, it's like, so it's not a problem of not being able to read it. It's more of when they're speaking in Japanese, I can't understand their inflections and their, the language of their voice. So it's a little dispassionate for me. I prefer to be able to understand what they're saying and put that to the words.
Fair enough. Number 3. Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Probably not, but I do want to say that I still think it's still one of the best comic book movies ever made. That, and another one that people forget about is the 1977 Superman, the Christopher Reeves one. Still one of the best comic book movies ever. I love that movie just because it just encapsulates that character, the sort of cheesy goofiness and the over the top hope and all that stuff. I really love it. But yeah, Jack Nicholson is second best Joker.
And then the other movies, the other Superman movies got really weird because it was obvious that they didn't know the source material.
Yeah, and it's just a fucking trip, man.
Like he had like repair vision in one of the movies.
Yeah, and then the third one where it's Richard Pryor builds a supercomputer that turns a lady into a mechanical zombie or something. It's fucking weird.
Next set of questions from Ice Star.
Okay.
What is the most mundane breed of pasta?
Mundane? I don't know what it's called, but it's the generic spaghetti. Because you can have the thicker spaghetti, you can have angel hair pasta, and all the other types of things, but that's just like, that's the most basic bitch level pasta, is just spaghetti noodles.
Yeah, I think it's just called spaghetti.
Yeah. How much more basic can you get?
I would like a single spaghetto, please.
Yeah. I would like one long spaghetti noodle on my plate. Yeah, what she said.
Up next, we have questions from Arconics.
Oh, gosh.
Is that you, John Wayne? Is this me?
Who said that? Who the fuck said that? Who the fuck's the twinkle-toed commie cocksucker who just signed his own death warrant?
Oni-chan.
Oh, shit! Now you fucked up!
Oni-chan.
Now you fucked up!
Oni-chan.
Now you fucked up!
Now.
You have fucked up now!
Oh
no! What have we done?
Enigmita, no! Enigmita, no!
You will laugh! You will cry!
No, you got it wrong. I've got your name. I've got your ass. You will not laugh. You will not cry. You will learn by the numbers. I will teach you. Now get on your feet. In case you didn't notice, before every cycle of the drill started, we would watch the first 10 minutes of that movie.
Can't tell, can ya?
Yeah. The other thing we would do, I just want to tell a story real quick, is before my first cycle of the drill started, it was the morning when the privates were going to arrive. And so we woke up early, and we spent like an hour and a half in the gym just lifting heavy weights, so we'll look as big and imposing as possible. And about 30 minutes before the soldiers were going to arrive on the buses, my company commander comes out with a cart, and it's full of monsters, chai tea, a big-ass pot of coffee, and I no shit, a literal bowl of Hydroxycut. Dude, we were fucking tweaking. Like, I thought my heart was going to explode. We were so pumped up. But it had the desired effect. Those privates were fucking terrified.
Oh, that's amazing. Eagle is up next. You get your shit squared away, Sergeant?
Probably not.
Fair
Not these
enough.
days.
Moostasm's up next. I'm so late this week. No time for argument. You stroll down to this box, now you must come with us, sample our questions, so we have questions to ask you. Number 1, Equestria, would you consider it a vacation spot or permanent residence?
It depends. Like, if I'm the only human, I think that'd be cool, and not just because it's Equestria. I don't know. It's just something appealing about the idea of being the only member of your species in this foreign land. That's kind of appealing to me. If it's like anyone can go there freely, I'd just say vacation. You know, get a little getaway, enjoy a little bit of humble innocence before you go back to the dredge of life.
It sounds like you like the perks of being the only exotic thing around.
I ain't gonna lie, that's kind of cool.
And then someone's gonna want to like kill you and break you down for aphrodisiacs.
Yeah, probably.
Now then, number 2. It's time for some cheeky timeline shenanigans. You get to replace one piece of historical artwork, including paintings, statues, literature, videos, with a piece of your own art, something you've created. Your art gets the same amount of exposure as the replaced work, including public showings, readings, school assignments, etc. What do you replace with what, and how has history changed as a result?
Honestly, I would probably replace some classic piece of English literature, like the Canterbury Tales, or maybe some Shakespeare or something, if for no other reason than 500 years later, I want pretentious-ass art teachers to be able to debate the meaning of it. So, when the author describes how the pony is murdered using magic, what did he mean by that? You know, I find that funny.
Fair enough. Number 3. If you were the very model of a modern Major General, would you have information primarily animal, vegetable, and mineral?
Literally the only thing I know about that is, you know, One of my best friends who is gay loves that play, and he knows that speech by heart, or that song by heart. That's all I know about that. Isn't that the same? Isn't that from the same play that that Sideshow Bob sang in that episode of The Simpsons?
Yes, you are correct.
British talk. That one, yeah.
Yeah, the one where Bart just stalls him for like 3 hours down the river.
Yeah, that's all I know about it. So mineral. Why not?
Fair enough. Gotta get them rocks off.
Maud approves.
Now then, it's time for questions of Vylon. Milk, do it.
Yeah, Milk, do it. The Vylon question.
It's time for fucking Vylon questions now. Fuck you.
Good job.
Okay, fine.
I have no idea what just happened.
Well, Vylon's known for coming onto our show and asking the most disturbing questions. So we put on a very special voice for her. Hold on. How are you today?
Much better now.
Good. That's all for questions of Vylon today. Jammer is up next.
I'm disappointed that was it.
Oh, we have more. If we have time at the end of the stream, we will dive into the archive. It will be wonderful.
Ooh, yay.
Jammer is up next. Number 1, what's it like to write? Do you have any tips or tricks or things you wish you knew when you first started?
Well, first off, this is a huge do as I say, not as I do, but the best thing to do is just write. Just constantly write. Don't worry about what you're doing. Don't worry about if it's good or not. Just get it on paper. Because the hardest part is having it in your head and getting it onto the screen. And once you can do that, you can go back and it's much easier to tweak and finesse from there. So just write. And one thing I used to do back when I was able to write, like back when I could bang out like 3,000 words in a few hours, what I would do is if I came to a stop, I would go for a walk and just like walk around the neighborhood and just talk it out to myself. And just, like, okay, why does the character say this? What is he doing? And, how is he standing? And what is he meaning by this? And once you verbalize it, it becomes easier to sort of get it out there.
I agree. Sometimes taking a step back and re-examining your own work really gives you some perspective on what you want to write. Number 2, if you were given 33 drinks of your choice every week, would you give 90 a place to stay at or near your home?
Okay, let me try. If I had 33 of the drink of my choice every week, would I give 90 like the fanfiction guy?
Yes.
A place to stay near my home?
Yes.
Did you have an aneurysm writing that question?
I don't know. Jammer, did you?
It's like, I feel like this is someone in the midst of a grand mal seizure. I don't know. Sure. Why not? And maybe if you live near me, I can light a fire under his ass and actually change some things about the website.
Oh, shade.
Like that general fiction website section where it's supposed to have for the past, 5 fucking years.
Fucking shade. Take that, take that, fucking Nighty.
I love you, Nighty. I'm only playing. I love fanfiction. You've done a great job with the website.
Number 3. Would you hug Thing Pwn? Would you kiss them goodnight? Tell them every little thing is going to be alright? Would you stick your dick in her? Or snoodle boop her and let her be a roommate?
No, just because I know what happens to people who touch the thing, and But Thing Pony can be anything you want her to be.
Hey, all it takes is one cell of her to get into my body, and I'm done for. So you know what?
You don't want to be her forever special someone?
Not particularly. I'm too afraid that Kurt Russell will throw dynamite at me.
It's not that hard of a sell for me.
Remember, this is a guy who doesn't like his own jizz.
That's right. Yeah, you don't like even your own jizz touching you. So you know what? That makes sense.
Actually, reminds me of a story that I read way back in the day called I think it was called The First Week of Winter, and it's the guy I think it's called Relaxing Dragon, and he wrote a story that was basically a combination of John Carpenter's Apocalypse trilogy, meaning it starts with The Thing and then goes on to I forget what the middle one, but then In the Mouth of Madness and stuff, and it was really good because I remember it started off by I think it was Scootaloo, Spike, and Sweetie Belle being absorbed by the Thing very violently, and then like that stuck with me, and it's a really good story. You should check it out. Again, it's called First Week of Winter.
That's a great suggestion.
Also, that same guy wrote a story that is on my user page. That's one of my favorite stories called The Many Deaths of Rainbow Dash. And the story is utterly hilarious. It's literally like a sitcom written by Jeffrey Dahmer. Because it's just bloody and gory and silly, and I love it.
I'm sold.
But Jake, you don't like gore fix, she says, looking at you incredulously.
I don't like gore fix that don't have a point. If the point is just, let's show some shocking gore because it'll freak people out, no, I'm not a fan. But if it serves the narrative in some way, shape, or form, I can be on board with it.
It checks out this time. But the next question is from Nalia. Number 1, do you like head pats?
Who doesn't?
Probably Enigma. Number 2.
I could go for some goddamn head pats right now. What the hell are you talking about?
Number 2, do you like tacos?
I'm from South Texas. Of course I do.
And then the last question statement is, making a difference in life is great. It makes me happy to know people care. Keep staying awesome.
Well, thank you very much. That means a lot to me. I do have to say that, you know, the positive feedback I've gotten from participating in this fandom has been a very positive driving force in my life. And yeah, not to get too cheesy or sappy, but like this fandom has meant a lot to me. So, yeah.
Random fast reader from the chat asks, so what do you think of Headless Rainbow's Celestia's relaxing vacation?
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, I know all about Headless Rainbow stories, and
Gunner's up next and has a question for you. What do you think of steampunk versus diesel punk?
I'm honestly a little confused with the difference. Like, I know what steampunk is, and I kind of like steampunk. It's a little hipsterish to me, but like some of the aesthetics I've seen, I actually really like. What's the difference between that and diesel punk?
I think diesel punk is like Mad Max Wasteland.
Oh, well, that's kind of cool too. You know, I'm guessing, you know, the difference between steam and diesel is more of like the diesel punk sounds like it's more dirty and grimy and sort of like low tech, whereas steampunk is more about really fancy architecture and incredibly complicated machines that run off steam and stuff. So, steampunk, I guess.
All right. Next question is, do you like Sabaton?
I fucking love Sabaton. Oh my god. Like, that's like my buddy, Captain Unstoppable, now known by the OC Doctor, he turned me on to them, and I just, it's one of those bands that's like, I utterly devoured their discography. Like, I heard the one album, Primo Victoria, and within the span of like 2 or 3 weeks, I had all their albums and just spinning them constantly. Heroes is one of my favorite albums of all time.
Awesome. Number 3, do you like the webcomic Gone with the Blast Wave?
Gone with the Blast Wave. I'm going to Google that real quick. The Blast Wave. Let's check it out and see what it looks like. It looks like, war. No, I've never seen it. Don't know anything about it. I'll check it out, though.
And now we have Geodesic Dragon, who says to the cast, please do everything in your power to prevent Priest from doing another Scottish accent.
It hurts so much, you guys.
Number 1.
Just do Irish instead.
Have you ever been to the great country of Scotland?
It's so much worse.
No, I haven't, but I do have to say Scottish is my favorite accent. I love it. Like Scottish Twitter is my favorite thing ever. I could read that shit all the time. And I especially love the old Robin Williams bit where he's like, if you ever want to go on a linguistic adventure, go drinking with the Scotsman because you can't understand what the fuck they're saying in the first place.
Do you also love Scottish Pokemon Trainer?
Yes, oh my god, I love it so much. It's like again, those couple YouTube videos of some lady did a dub of her voice. It's amazing. I love it so.
Number 2, have you ever tried the greatness that is earned brew?
Don't know, no idea what you just said.
Fair enough. Number 3, you have to kill either Mudbriar, Quibblepants, or Zephyr Breeze. Who do you pick, and how do you do the deed?
I have to kill one of them. I mean, I don't know, because I would say I love Quibblepants. I thought, he's a little abrasive, but I think he's really cool. And then Mudbriar grew on me. Like at first, I didn't like him, but I kind of got into him. I thought he's weird, but he's a good weird. But I'd kill Zephyr Breeze, and I would make it quick and merciful.
I mean, Mudbriar is just Horse Sheldon with his catchphrase, DiGiorno.
Bazoople. Number 4, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Which member of the Barcast fits each?
Oh wow! You're trying to make me some enemies, huh? I would say the good would probably be Milk. The bad would be Pencil, and I'm sorry, bro. I'm really sorry, but Fluttered be the ugly.
Not choosing Enigma to be the ugly. Have you seen the man?
I haven't seen him. I've never met him before, so I can't speak.
You've never met Enigma?
Have I? Maybe. I meet so many people at cons and stuff. So
that's the biggest insult is how forgettable Enigma is.
Yeah, that should tell you didn't even rate a memory. So yeah.
You don't remember that guy running up to you, flashing you his dragon tits?
Wow.
You have any idea how little that narrows it down?
Number 5. What do you think of the fact that I am trying my utmost to fit the word "the" into this question as many times as the word "the" could possibly fit? Dude, I'm already drunk. You don't even understand.
I'm sorry.
Fit into the question, which is the one I am currently typing.
I'm sorry. I thought it was a joke. I didn't know y'all actually did a drinking word. I would have picked something more obscure. I'm sorry.
No, it's almost funny. This is the drunkest I've been on cast in a while. But that's all the questions that we have in the thread.
Oh, and yay.
Pencil has done us a great service. In finding us some Violon questions. Pencil, would you like me to do this?
Yes, please.
Okay, sounds good. Here we go, number 1. You are on a bus, and the seat next to you is free. A 9 out of 10 hot girl wearing a miniskirt steps in and sits down next to you. Her arm gently rubs against your shoulder as the bus drives on a bumpy road. She notices you getting uncomfortable and looks you in the eyes. She smiles. She lays her hands on her thighs, still smiling but looking forward. Her miniskirt slips up slightly. You try not to get a boner. She gets a boner. Will you tap that or drop that?
Well, first and foremost, I dropped that for simply getting all on me without permission. I don't like people touching me, so I don't care how hot you are. Don't invite my territorial bubble. All right. And as far as a chick with a dick, I wouldn't be opposed.
Yeah, it wouldn't be your jizz.
Oh my god. Is that going to be what I'm known for around here? Is that going to be my thing?
Yes, that and the doc.
I don't think Jake is the jizz guy. I think we've had other guys that are the jizz guy.
No. Jake's that doesn't like to be touched by his own jizz. That guy.
Oh. Okay.
Oh,
That's definitely not a title we have.
I go by so many names.
Now then. The next question is, you are a morgue worker, and you are being released by registering a plea for insanity. From jail and stuff. Then, to try to get compensation for the trouble of being arrested, you sue a dead man's widow for child support. You win. Unfortunately, instead of giving you money, the court decides to take the baby into state custody, which makes you sad because you have plans for the child. I'm losing the thread of this question.
I don't like where this is going.
Morgues are also rejecting you now whenever you apply for a job. How dare they deny you of your life calling? Fortunately, you meet a guy who is totally turned on by what you do. To your surprise, he even gives you his absolute consent and permission to kill you. For you to kill him and to use his corpse for procreation. Will you accept the offer and make each other's dreams come true by killing him for a short-lived but super satisfying, unforgettable one time of having sex, or will you decline and just be content on the roleplay so you get less satisfying fucks but have a guaranteed partner every time you want to have sex?
Never come within 50 meters of me.
And now
okay, here's how I'll answer that question. I'll say that fantasies are all well and good, and I'm perfectly happy and content with grown adults enacting whatever sick, perverted, fucked up shit they want in their own bedroom. But once you start involving things that are not cool, that's where I draw the line. So I assume necrophilia would be one of those things, like bestiality and other stuff. Like, no, not cool. But roleplay, sure, fine, whatever.
So you would happily roleplay necrophilia is what I'm.
I wouldn't because it's not my thing, but like.
I mean, but you just said.
No, I said I'm perfectly happy with people who do that, but if the question wasn't me personally, no, that's not my thing. No.
What if you had a partner that wanted to do it?
Yeah, that would be the easiest role ever. You just lay there.
Yeah, I mean, like, if it was someone that I cared about and she was like, let me try this one time, sure, okay. But if, like, the only way I can get aroused is if you pretend to be a corpse, no.
Fair enough.
Like I would ask, do you want me limp or do you want rigor mortis setting in?
Fuck's sake. Good job.
And now the last question from Hat Vandermoose. Do you like cheese?
Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of cheese. Like, I like cheese with other stuff, but, like, I'm not the kind of guy that's just gonna, like, eat a hunk of cheese. So I'm not the biggest fan of it, honestly.
No, that's it. That's fucking it. You can bash on Slayer, you can bash on Megadeth, but the minute you hate on cheese, that's it. We're fucking done. Tell us what we got going on in your life. Tell us why you're here. If people have questions for you, how can they get in contact with you?
Well, apparently they shouldn't because they don't like cheese.
Yeah, fuck you.
No. Tell us more about your contest and when you'll announce the results and what people should expect and if you're going to be holding another contest, and tell us why that you're not shit.
Well, the jury's not out whether I'm not shit or not, but the contest ended day before yesterday, and I'd say give us the judges are myself, Totally Not a Brony, Fandom Most Everything, and Categorical Grant. So I'd say give us about a week or so to sort of suss out the winners, and then I'll be posting a blog talking about who won, and then from there I'll get with these lovely people you're talking to right now and let them know how they want to announce who they're going to talk to and stuff, and when they want to do it. As far as future contests, I would love to, if there's interest, because as I said, we didn't get as many participants this time as we did last time, so maybe that was something I did or whatever, but I would love to do it again once I have, abilities to come up with new exciting prizes, because I don't want to do the same thing over and over again. But so yeah, as far as if you want to reach out to me, I'm Jake the Army Guy on FimFiction. Drop me a PM. I love talking to people. I don't really have any writing projects because for personal reasons, I'm having a hard time writing. But I do want to say that I end every blog I write pretty much with "Never forget that I fucking love you all," and I do. I mentioned earlier that the positive impact this fandom has had on me is almost immeasurable. Because before I got into this show, I honestly didn't have a lot of friends. I didn't really have any friends. I mean, I had buddies I served with in the military, but that was it. But since I found this saccharine nightmare of pastel, I've met like-minded friends and some of the best friends I've ever had, and I love talking with y'all all the time. I love doing shit like this with amazing people like the Barcast people, and just for every single one of you who's ever read any of my stories, left a comment, said something nice, it means the world to me, and I love you all. Thank you very much. Thank you to the Barcast people for having me on. I know, y'all been out of your way to put me on here. Thank you so much. Y'all do great things, and I wish y'all the best, and I wish myself the best, and Applejack is best pony, Mazel Tov, God bless America.
Well, we do wish you the best as well, too, despite my aggressive, well-intentioned joke. Jake, it's so
despite not wanting to touch my own cum and not liking cheese, you wish me the best.
It's true. It's actually true. You really are really special. We're wonderful that we're happy to have you on here. You really do a lot for the community, and people do really care about what you have to say, and it's wonderful to have you on.
Thank you very much.
That said, Milk, do we know who we have next week?
No, not yet.
It might end up being.
In that case, let me give a real quick shout out to Random Fast Reader, Geodesic Dragon, and Alex, and of course Invisible Davis for all of their amazing bit donations. You guys are fucking amazing. I'm watching what you guys are doing right now. Thank you so much. This is our most successful bit donation stream ever. So,
wow,
it's true.
My God, I'm awesome.
Yeah, first place right now goes to Invisible Davis, who donated 1,500 bits. Second place right now is Random Fast Reader at 612. Geodesic has 500. Hat Vandamoose has 200. Alex _ has 190. It means so much. We're getting really close to the next level as far as subscriber points, and we will have new emojis and stuff. So, thank you so much. But until next time, your bartenders are non-pencil. Enigmatic Otaku.
It's 4 p.m., honey.
Oh no.
Milk. Our amazing guest, Jake the Army Guy.
Bunnies are fluffy.
Yes. And my name's Flutter Priest. Now, stay tuned as we raid Bill Newton and tell him that he's a very pretty person.
Yes, everyone go tell Bill that he's... I don't remember the command for it. Bye, everyone!
Bye, everybody!
It's /raid mild Bill Gaming.